everybody, I'm back again with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video. But this time, I'm going to do something kind of interesting. I'm going to show you lot how you can construct a deck of cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. For those of you who are got an interest in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want to have a go playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, before or after playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. Now you gotta go to the deck studio. Now you gotta go to like the wait. Let me go back a few times. You gotta come to this area here, where it calls Duel Studio, and click on the building. Then it'll then bring you to this bit here. Now you gotta then click on View and Edit Decks. Once here, you basically get to come to this bit here. Now, as you can tell, I already constructed one deck of cards, aside from the one you start off with, which with the deck I constructed being a Harvey deck. But as you can see on the side here, there's another deck with this red triangle. That means that that's an empty deck slot, which means you can actually, if you click on it, you actually get to edit yourself a new deck of cards to construct. Now, as you can see here, it is actually different to Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist, where in Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist you can construct a deck that's got anywhere from 40 to 60 cards in your main deck. Here, when you construct your main deck, it can have anywhere from 20 to 30 cards. Now, in this game, well, with this particular Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, you do have this thing called a deck skill. There's actually quite a few different ones, but I'll explain about that in a different video when I'm playing as a different character. For those of you that want to know. Anyway, now as you can see on the side here, there's quite a lot of different Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. You got lots of monsters, spells, and traps. Now, when you construct a deck of cards, you have to pick like a theme for your deck, whether it's monster, with like what type of monsters you want to go for. And you also got this thing called archetype, which is basically where you base your deck around monsters with a certain word in their card name. The card name being like the name of so and so Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. Now for this one, I'm going to go for Venom. Like, if you go on a text search and type in something like Venom, then any and all cards with Venom in their name or have something to do with Venom cards will appear here. As you can see, I got quite a few, such as like monster wise, I got Venom Cobra, Venom Boa, Venom Snake, Venom Serpent. I also got cards like this guy here, Phenomenon, the king of poisonous snakes, and in this one here, Phenomenaga, the deity of poisonous snakes. He also got some spell cards like Venom Shot and Venom Swamp, plus cards like Snake Deity's Command. Now, with this deck, I'm going to have Venom Cobra, 3 copies of Venom Snake and Venom Serpent. I think I'm also going to have 2 copies of Venom Boa, 2 copies of Venom Swamp, and 2 copies of Venom Shot. And what else? Oh, here's a spell card called Double Summon. This is actually quite a good spell card because this lets you normal summon or set 1 additional monster this turn that you use it. So yeah, it won't hurt to add this card. Now with Venom Snake, once per turn you can place one Venom counter on a monster that your opponent controls. Venom Snake does the exact same thing as Venom Snake. Lets you place a Venom counter on one of your opponent's monsters once per turn. And Venom Boa can do the exact same thing, except that there's a couple of differences. One difference is that Venom Boa can place 2 Venom counters on the opponent's monster. And the second difference is that if you choose to use Venom Boa's card effect, you can't attack with Venom Boa on the same turn. So it's a bit of a drawback, but it's worth it because of the field spell Venom Swamp. During the end phase of each person's turn, you get to place one Venom counter on each face-up monster except Venom monsters. In case you wonder what it means by Venom monster, it is talking about monsters like Venom Serpent that's got the word Venom, in their card name, basically. In addition to that, all monsters with monsters that have Venom counters on them will lose 500 attack for each Venom counter they have. And once their attack reaches 0, the monsters with Venom counters will then be destroyed. Okay, now Snake Deity's Command. This is actually a really good counter trap card if your opponent uses. If your opponent is going to use a spell card that you want to get rid of. What else? Oh, I'm going to have Phenomena, the King of Poison Snakes. 2 copies of him. Phenomenaga, the Deity of Poison Snakes. I think I'm going to have 1 copy of her in this deck. No, actually, I think I will have a 3rd copy of Venom Boa. Now I've got the requirement number of cards to have in this deck, by having a minimum of 20 cards, which isn't too bad. Now, luckily, you can actually change the name of the deck of cards that you're using. Now, in this case, this deck I'm going to name Venom Deck because of the Venom monsters. After that, you then just gotta click on save and bang bang boom. Also, you actually get the option of whether or not you want to set this deck as your active deck to use in all your duels. In this case, that's what I'm going to do. Now, there's only one thing left to do, and that's to test out this deck of cards to see if it's any good. So let's do it here, Andrew. Let's do him. Yeah, now it's time to test out my Venom deck against his tribute deck. In case you're wondering, his tribute deck basically lets him tribute summon a monsters, pretty much. Okay, my move. And that's a very good start. I got Venom Swamp. I play Venom Swamp. I set 1 card face down, and I now summon Venom Snake. Now, I'm going to have Venom Snake attack directly, because Andrew has no monsters on his side of the field. Now, when you attack directly, the amount of life points, or LP, your opponent loses depends on the current attack value of your monster. Now, the current attack value of Venom Snake is 1200. So that's how much life points Andrew loses, and my turn is, and it's now his turn. Now, in case you're wondering what just happened, my draw. In case you wonder what just happened, when two monsters do battle, you compare the attack value of both monsters. If one monster has a higher attack value than the other, that monster wins. And the monster that lost, that monster is then sent to the graveyard. And the person who lost that monster basically they basically lose large points equal to the difference in both their attack values. Now, as you'll just noticed, I activated Venom Snake's ability to place a counter on Dark Ifigi. And thanks to Venom Swamp, because oh yeah, Venom Snake can't attack the same turn they activate this effect. Now, as you noticed, only Dark Ifigi received a Venom counter, and that was because my okay, I got Venom Boa. Now I'm gonna tribute Venom Snake to bring out Venom Boa. Now I'm gonna have Venom Snake launch a direct attack on Andrew's life points. Now the reason why my Venom Boa and Venom Snake, the reason why those two did not receive a the reason why they didn't receive a Venom counter was because they happen to be Venom monsters. I used Venom Boa's once per turn effect to place two Venom counters on Serpent Night Dragon. And thanks to Venom Swamp, Serpent Night Dragon loses more attack points. Yeah, now, unfortunately for Andrew, he's got a taste of my poison. And that was probably a waste, what he did. Because now, it's going to be a lot easier for me to take out his monster. I'll play Venom Shot. By targeting Serpent Night Dragon, I can discard one Venom monster from my deck to the graveyard, and then that Serpent Night Dragon gains two more Venom counters and loses more attack points thanks to Venom Swamp. Now I use Venom Boa's effect again on that Nightmare Serpent, and now because its attack points have gone down to 0 thanks to Venom Swamp, it is automatically destroyed. Now I would attack, but unfortunately Venom Boa's once per turn effect prevents me from attacking the same turn I use its effect, so that's a bit of a pain in the backside. Okay, now I'm gonna now because this monster Andrew has his face down, I can't really use that once per turn effect Venom Boa has, so I can only launch a normal attack. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's a Venom Serpent. Now I activate my double summon spell card. This lets me normal summon or set one additional monster. Now I'm gonna bring out this guy from the Phenomenon, the King of Poisonous Snakes, by sacrificing Venom Boa and Venom Serpent. Now I know what you're lot thinking, I could have easily won the duel if I brought out my second Venom Boa, but this particular monster card I have wanted to summon out before with in a previous Venom deck that I constructed as a different counter. So now Andrew didn't summon a monster, so either he did not have a monster to summon, or either A, he couldn't draw a monster card, B, his monster card is too powerful, if he does have one in his hand, or 3, he can summon a monster, but he can't because he knows it's going to be destroyed. Now my King of Poison Snakes attacks directly, and I won the duel. Yeah, and well, that's it. That's basically a Venom deck for you. And as you can tell at the end of the duel, you not only that your character gets experience points, but you also get you also got this duel results thing that gives you a score based on how well you dueled. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. Uh, anyway, I do apologise if the video was a bit too long for some of you lot, but I hope you lot I hope you lot enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe if you kind of like the videos I do, and tell me what your thoughts are on this game. And until next time, goodbye for now.